Hello, happy Wednesday to all you fine folks. It's customer service with a capital S tonight. Not just regular customer service, but we're going to be talking about with that capital S and what it takes just to put it over the top when you're trying to create your raving fan customers. So that's our main topic tonight, and then we'll move into bringing in some hospitality tips on top of that as we go. I'm Steve Carver talking to you from my office in Dunn, North Carolina. Presentation number 1094, moving real fast towards 1100. And I appreciate all of you being on my journey with me, and let me be traveling with you as well. So we'll kick you right on in there. I'd like for you all to please find me on Facebook. If you type in Steve Carver or Anthony Stephen Carver and look for this picture of the fall leaves, and check in with me. I'd appreciate it. That way I can follow you on Facebook as well. Monitor your progress and say hello to you every now and then. I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, a tax advisor or attorney, but what I can do for you is share with you 64 years of experience in small business, and hopefully some of it will do some good for you. First advice is always get a second opinion before you make a major decision related to your security or your business. And absolutely, some of the best places to get those second opinions is from your small business centers in your local communities, at your local community college. We're sponsored tonight by Joy Wynn, the director of the Small Business Center at James Sprunt Community College in Kenansville. Her office is actually in Warsaw, but Joy is really working hard to try to help all the entrepreneurs that have come to her make an appointment, move forward, and help your business get started. Well, we're almost to December, so we're winding down our 2023 series. Tonight, of course, we're talking about customer service. I'll be back with you tomorrow night if you'd like to join us to talk about how to find and engage new customers. Should be a very interesting program for you. Then next week, we've got 4 nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with different topics. But the main one with this series is on Wednesday night, where we'll be giving you some good ideas, and this will be our final session, on red flags and pivotal points for small businesses. This is digging deep into actual management skills to help you kind of recognize the things that are coming up that are important for you, so you don't let it go by. Then the following week on December 11th, we'll have an afternoon session at 5 p.m. about how to turn a hobby into a business. Next week on Thursday, we got an afternoon session at 2 p.m. about pricing strategies. And that'll wrap us up until January, when we'll crank up, start it all over again with a brand new series, 7 parts. We'll start out on Thursday nights in January and February. And I've got it titled, I'm Starting My Own Business in 2024. And I hope that y'all will want to attend as many of those as you can or two, and earn some more certificates if you'd like, and really get this stuff drilled in tight for you. The study guide sent to you tonight for talking points for tonight is titled 1094, and then a study guide for the drill skills, which I sent to you. Please, when the Small Business Center Network sends you the survey, please fill it out and click on it and send it on back. That's important for our record keeping and helps everybody plan and do a better job of bringing you the topics that you want to hear. And then keeping up with your attendance, we got a good attendance all the way through this series so far. And to win a certificate or to earn a certificate for this series, you need to attend at least 4 of the 5 series and pass a quiz, which I'll be creating that quiz in this next few days, and I'll send it to you so you can get it back to me by next week if you'd like. Let's talk about some of our people that I've heard from this week. Latoya with us again tonight. Thank you, Latoya, for sharing all the things that you're doing in your activity on Facebook. I can certainly see that you're working hard, and so proud of you, and appreciate what you're doing. Sherry is with us tonight. Miss Mitchell is over in Roanoke Rapids. You're becoming very active, and I'm liking what I see, and I hope that it's going to be generating some good business for you. And I say thank you for sharing what you're doing, and it looks real good. I like the images that you're using. and hope your customers are going to like it as well. Katina's working hard. Ms. Cooper's working hard with her new website and pushing forward, and certainly got some new information out there for all of us. Like what you're doing and appreciate you sending it to us, and the same for Regina in Elizabethtown with her creating new fashion designs, and so happy to have you on board with us and looking forward to watching your business grow as well. Our florist has been doing a really great job, and so proud of you and appreciate you pushing your, excuse me, got a cough coming on. This is Darcy. Appreciate you. Great new images. I really like this new image for your business, the florist, and starting to get out and get some feelers from people that's going to be able to give you some business when you open up. Doing a great job with your photographs. Keep that good work up. I like the fact that you've got your QR code working here, and contact information. Love blooms at theflorist.com. That's looking real good. And as soon as you give us a signal you're ready to start doing some business, we'll start promoting you out in the public. Pamela, thank you for sending us information and staying in there with it over in Rose Hill, and especially appreciate the nice testimonial that you sent. That really helps us all, and thanks for the kind words, and also for sharing the information about the Christmas parade. Folks over at Rose Hill opening up to vendors and for a great Christmas on Saturday. So anyone that's got a booth you'd like to set up, get in touch with them. And thank you so much, Pam, for letting us know about that. That's a great way to help everybody. And I posted it everywhere I could. Please go back and look at your drill skills. Try to own those. Everything in there is worth memorizing, so you can use them and help you get your tool belt, drill skills tool belt full of things that you can use as you're getting your business going on. So I want to talk to you first of all about just general customer service. As we get into business and as you open your businesses and move forward, it's important to remember that customer service is just not something that you open up a book and you do this page today and that page tomorrow. It's a way of thinking. It's an attitude. It's not a department in your business. It is a general attitude that goes over the whole business. So some of the most important ways to improve customer service in your business is to fight distractions, number one, and set priorities each day. Excuse me just a minute. Let me turn off some background noise. I left my heater on. Just 1 minute. Okay, so every day when you get started in business, just know that customer service needs to be on your mind, and just set the priorities that you are going to say to yourself that I'm going to do more and more, excuse me, towards helping customer service in my business today. We got to remember we can't be all things to all people, but we have to be everything to some people. And when we're everything to some people, they will become our raving fan customers. This is just like a heartbeat in your business. You just have to remember that to stay on top of it. Customer service, from the customer's point of view, how they see us is so important. And it's all about the first impressions. You don't have a chance to have a good customer service relationship with a customer if you don't make that good first impression. And how many chances do we get to make a first impression? Just one. I'm so sorry for this cough. Maybe I can drink some tea and settle it down. I've enjoyed to give these series through the years on customer service, and especially when we get to talk about Walt Disney. I was very lucky to be able to take my children down about 30 years ago to Disney World, and it was just amazed when I got there and it made impressions that I still think about today. And Walt Disney, of course, is the master of customer service and entertainment. And he's got this thing called a 5-10 rule. He developed it, and now all over the world people use it. And Latoya and Annette, it's something that we all can use in our business every day as we go forward. If you try to remember this and make a note on it, it'll go a long way. Disney called it his 5-10 rule. And that was, he would say to his employees that if a customer gets within 10 feet of you, within 10 feet, I want you to smile and make eye contact with that person. In other words, you notice that they're there and make eye contact with them and give them a smile. Have you been to a store lately, like a big chain store like Walmart or Target or somewhere, or Lowe's, and notice that lots of times when you're walking down through the aisle and would like some customer service, that the employees actually turn away from you? They don't want to make eye contact because I think they're afraid you're going to ask them something. That is so aggravating for me, especially after teaching this class, because if they would smile and give you eye contact, you would immediately feel better about doing business at this place. And then Disney said, now when they get within 5 feet of you, I want that smile to turn into a greeting. I want you to smile at them and give them a good morning or a good afternoon, or may I help you, or how are things going? Take the 2 seconds to make a great first impression. So one of your questions on the quiz is going to be, tell me about the Disney's 5-10 rule, and I want y'all to be able to write this down. Get within 10 feet of a customer, you give them a smile and make eye contact. You come within 5 feet of the customer, and you greet them with a smile and give them an appropriate verbal greeting. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to make a great first impression. And now all over the world, you'll see these signs like this one at a Target store, and lots of stores where folks who are, trying to improve their customer service, they're using the same rule all over the world, and it's certainly appropriate for us to use it as well. The great value of raving fan customers lets you know that bringing the customer service to you is so important. Because if your raving fan customers will go out in the world and tell other customers how good it is to do business with you. So remembering how important the raving fan customers are is all about it. MMFI. We have to train and practice the MMFI. And what does that stand for? Make me feel important. Not me, Steve, but we want to make that customer feel important. They're wearing a sign on their back and on their front. You might not be able to see it. This is some of these non-visual communications, but every customer wants to be made to feel important. And it's so easy to do. All you have to do is look, smile, greet, and listen to what they have to say. And we just have to remember that. And the key now in 2023 and 2024 is that we need to make them feel important on the internet, in email, in online conversations, telephone conversations. It's not just a face-to-face thing. We have to take the extra mile and remember to understand that folks that are here to be made to feel important so that we can start doing business with them. The very second that you create that give and take with a customer, a relationship starts. And if you are able and you're cool enough and you're smart enough to start these relationships, then your business is going to go forward. If you're cold, try to keep a distance from your customer, you don't have a chance in having a long-term business relationship with them. So make me feel important. When you see a customer, visualize that they have that banner right on their chest talking about that. And then try to make it happen for them every way that you possibly can. We need to plan to have a successful meeting with our customer. So remember, we talked in several weeks back about forecasting and setting ourselves up and doing our homework to negotiate a good deal. Well, let me tell you, when you want to set customer service as a priority in your business, then you don't do the same thing. We're going to plan to have a successful customer service experience with this customer. And we do that by getting things set in place in the way we answer our email or the way we respond on social media. It's just not a short, curt answer that we give to people, but we put that human factor in there to make them feel better about it. Now, tomorrow I'm going to email you a lot of emails, and they're samples of letters that I've sent to my customers, samples of different things that we've done in videos, that all of them are trying to demonstrate how you can copy these strategies in what you're doing to help the customers better understand that you're trying to give them excellent customer service. And that's a plan. That's a plan. I've done it enough now that in my emails I send to customers, there's certain statements at the beginning and in the middle and at the end to let them know that we're all about, at the end of the day, for that customer having a happy ending, to have a successful relationship, to be glad that they did business with you. You have to plan for that to happen and put it into your content as you're doing websites, as you're doing web pages, and sending email and quotations. So it's showtime now to move forward. So customer service with a capital S. What is the most important questions that come into play? Are you really engaged now? Talking to you individually, are you really engaged to make sure that you, and if you have employees, are doing all you can for the best interest of the business as a whole? Because if the employees are acting as a team, as we are acting as a team here as the academy to make it happen, then we're going to make some progress. We're going to do some good things, and we're doing good things because you guys are engaged together and with me to try to put together a standard, a way of doing business that promotes customer service. And is your attitude very positive? I can tell just when y'all answer back when I greet y'all as we come on that you do have that positive attitude. And practice demonstrating it so that when someone, maybe you're being very positive, but if you don't demonstrate it in such a way that your customer can feel it, then they're not going to get the message. So the attitude of pushing that positive attitude forward is so very important. Are we thinking about all the time creating and keeping devoted customers? Our mindset needs to be, thank you for doing business with me today, but in the back of my mind, I'm saying, now, what are we going to do to make sure this relationship lasts and lasts and lasts a long time? Even if I can't close the deal today or sell you something today, I want you to feel good about doing business with us so that you'll give us a chance in the future. That is so important. And how do you do that? Maybe you're brand new in business and just getting yours started, or maybe you've been in some businesses around and seen some things happen. Well, you know, we ride down the road and we see the same billboard signs, the same people and this and that every day, and we've seen it for years. And as we go by those, if it's a familiar sight, we don't pay much attention to it, do we? Well, when it comes to customer service and hospitality, it's not going to make any difference unless you do something dramatically different. Unless you do something that demonstrates that you're being different. Now, I'll speak out to LaToya, who's with us tonight. She's getting her business up and running, and she is making a major effort to create a presence at Facebook. Every other day or so, she's putting a post up that makes sense. It's helping people. It's interesting reading. You don't want to overdo that. You want to put good stuff up there, but because you're making a dramatic difference in where you've been in before, it will get noticed. If it's the same old, people won't pay attention to it. But if you're doing something dramatically different, and especially if it's positive and you're demonstrating that you're making your move, that you're being a player, then you're going to get some recognition. The difference is how many good ways can you make a dramatic difference in what you're doing. So what does a customer really want when they're contacting you? Do they want to be sold something? Are they asking you to beat them up and to push them into buying something maybe they don't want, or just because you got it, that's what you're trying to sell? Or to create that customer, we first of all have to create an attitude of trying to help them. We're helping them find what they need, and hopefully we've got something to offer them, and if we don't, well, then there's a learning lesson with our marketing that if someone's out here buying something and we don't have it, then maybe we need to figure out how to get it and start selling it to them. I had tonight, less than an hour ago, a customer called me from Connecticut, and he has a situation where he has a grape vineyard, and he's got a lot of grass growing between his rows of vines. Got 7 foot working width, and in there he wants to be able to mow that area and bale hay in the area where he's mowing, and there's not any equipment in the market that will operate in that narrow space. Excuse me. So he called me, and we talked a while. I understand what his problem was. And within 30 minutes, I had sent him back an email saying, thank you for the opportunity to serve you. That's always how you want to start your email in response to a customer. Say, thank you for this opportunity to serve you. Just let that be part of every email you send, every quote that you send out. And then you get into, I appreciate the opportunity to accept the challenge to help you with this issue. And then I listed it out. And I went and took several pictures of different equipment that we got that will serve his needs. I hadn't done it before, I hadn't had it in this application, but I told him, I said, I think, in my opinion, there's a good chance these 4 pieces of equipment will get the job done for you. But let me tell you, we don't have a learning curve here, and you may have to tweak it to get it down to where it's really efficient for you. And share with me your thoughts now, and if you'd like, I'll put together a quote tomorrow and send it to you. All this is what we do if you really want to help the customers. If you really want to help the customers, that's what we need to do. So, and the different things that you're doing, keep that in mind so that you can. Each one of you that are on board with us tonight are going to be in businesses to help people. And we've talked about the different things that you're doing, but you got to let the customer know that is your main goal. People love to buy stuff. They really like to buy. That's why we make money. But they really hate to be pressured. You can lead and end up with a good relationship. But if you push and pressure, end up with folks that get tired of hearing it. That's why oftentimes y'all hear me say, I really want you to do this stuff, and I want you to do it at your pace. I try real hard to motivate, but not to pressure, and that's a fine line. That's a real fine line, and each of you have expressed enough maturity that I know that you're understanding what I'm saying, but you have to motivate. You can't be too shy that you're not push them to the point to let's do some business, but not to the point that you're pressuring. That's it. And you'll learn the right words to say that suits your demeanor with your customer. Be careful not to pressure, though. People love to buy. They hate to be pressured, but they want to enjoy the benefits of what they're getting, and they really want to get it right now. They really do, folks. If they can feel safe in what they're buying, if you're offering them a good package as part of your customer service plan, they will go ahead and buy it now, but you have to lead them into that without pushing them too hard. Using the words that I'm here to serve you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. But let me see what we can put together that suits you. That suits you are the key words. It's all about them, and you have to make them feel important. Mixing up the words can make such a big difference in whether or not you're pressuring or whether or not you're searching for the answer to their problem. And that's a good way to say it. I'm searching for the answer to your problem, that we both can end up in a good situation here. And listen, remember all of our talk about upsells? When you have arranged your profit centers in such a way that you can say, and by the way, we've got this product that will go right along with that and help complete what you're trying to achieve. Like with my customer in Connecticut earlier, I had the hay baler. I got the perfect hay baler for him. It was up to me to find the accessories to go with that hay baler that will suit his particular needs. And therefore, I was able to say, we've got the hay baler, and by the way, I've also got a mower that if we make some adjustments on it and you use it a certain way, I think it'll do a good job for you. And by the way, we've also got this hay rake that I've found that you should be able to pull through there and rake your hay up into a windrow and have a complete package ready to go. But because of these classes and working with you all, I know how important it is that you set the stage to be able to say, and by the way, and you have to do that by being familiar with how you can move customers that way. The end result with your customer, helping them solve that problem, is at the end of the day, we want to say to them, I want you to be 100% satisfied. That's my goal, is for you to be 100% satisfied. And if you mean that, and that's in your heart, and you're doing your best to do it, people can't hold that against you, because that's as good as it gets. And I like to encourage you to actually put that in your quotation and in your emails. The samples I'm going to send to you tomorrow, you'll see oftentimes I see different ways of telling the customer I want them 100% satisfied. I want them to tell their neighbors and friends to do business with us. There's nothing wrong and everything right about reminding the customers that that's what you're all about, because they will come back to see you. They may not buy this thing from you tomorrow, but the next time they need something, they notice you made a real effort to try to help them. Now, when I give them webinars or seminars in person, I like this slide, because I asked everyone to tell me a bad customer service experience that they had recently, a bad customer experience that maybe they've had recently. Is any of you guys that want to share something with me about a bad customer experience that you've had recently? Then let me turn your mic on and tell me about it. Anything bad happened recently? I'll start it off. Yesterday, Norma and I went to the doctor to get some medicine for these colds we got, and the doctor's office, or the urgent care place, was just really nice. They worked us right in. We didn't have to wait about 30 minutes for the whole thing, and they sent the prescriptions over to our drugstore, and we went straight over there to get them. And when we got there, there was a screw up with the prescriptions, and it took us about 2 hours to get that straightened out. So everyone was doing the best they could, but it ended up being a negative experience from the standpoint of getting that prescription filled up. But we learned a lesson from it. So it can always come. How about you, LaToya or Annette? Any of y'all had a bad experience this past weekend you want to share with us? All right, nobody chiming in. How about a good one? Well, the one I just described to you was really good. Went to urgent care feeling really bad, but they gave me good customer service. Norm and I both were out of there in 30 minutes, so that was a good experience, and everybody was real nice to us, and so we had that, and just felt real good about it. We went to finally this past weekend to see our granddaughter. Went to Harris Teeter to buy her a housewarming couple of bottles of wine and meat to grill, and Harry Steeder knows all about customer service. At that Raleigh store, everybody was really nice and gave us good service. So it's good to be able to brag on people, isn't it? I want when folks do business at CarverEquipment.com that they're all about telling other folks what good customer service they got. And when they do business with you and it's your business, that's the same thing we want them to hear. I got good customer service with these folks. So, do you want to know why people never come back? Do you know why customers just don't buy or why they get angry? Do you know what they really want? Do you know how to strengthen customer loyalty? These are the things that we've got to know, and every business will be a little bit different with your different customer base, but we have to know. I need to know why people don't ever come back to my business, and maybe why they didn't buy. We have to think about it. We just can't say, "Oh shucks, I missed that one, so let's go on to the next one." Even though that's what we got to do, we got to keep on getting up, right? But in the back of our mind, we need to know: do I need to make a change here? Do I need to make a change so that I can capture these customers in their business? What am I doing wrong? We always have to be asking ourselves that. Who are the most important people in your business? It's the customer. They're not dependent on us, are they? No, we depend on them. They are not an interruption. So, sometimes I just feel like when I walk into a business and try to do business with them, they make me feel like I'm interrupting them and they'd rather I not be there. The fact is, we're not doing them a favor by serving them. They're doing us a favor by coming in. And more businesses need to learn that. But let me tell you, my friends here at the Academy, we must learn that because it is a very big, big deal. Customers are just not some money in the cash register. They are the biggest asset in our business. The biggest asset. So we're thinking that I'm the biggest asset, or this product I got is this and that and that, and I'm so important with things I've learned, and I went to these classes and I know this and that. But all that is important. But we have to remember, bottom line, every day, in and out, the customer is the biggest asset we have. In good times and bad times, if that customer stays with us, we'll be able to stay in business. So that's the choice we have to make as we're talking to folks. Let's talk about maybe the top 10 customer mistakes that we all make. Doing the best we can. We can make some mistakes all the time, and so let's just see what they are. Number 10, your customer. We look at customer service as a cost. A lot of companies do that. They say that, they got a department of it. I don't spend more money and put a few people up behind the counter and call it my customer service counter. But what we have to remember now, customer service is not a cost. It is an investment. It's an investment like marketing is an investment. Customer service is an investment, and on both of these things, we can get a return on that investment. If we take care of our customer that's with us today, I'll tell you that we'll be 10 times better off than trying to find 10 more new customers and just letting him go. Treat the people that are with you today right, and they'll stay with you, and you'll be 10 times better off than trying just to be everything to everybody. So treating your customers as an investment is important. Do we need a reality check? Or we just have a lack of knowledge about our customers? How important is it to remember the customer's name? How important it is to remember things about them? It's just amazing that we need to have a good knowledge of who is coming in a way that we can remember who they are. We're making notes. Remember in our marketing plan, the magic marketing moment, that don't happen unless you have recorded their names down and have a way of helping you remember who they are and how to get in touch with us. So we need to do that. And maybe you don't have employees yet, but when you do, you want to put your very best customer service people at a place where they can see the most people, do the most good for your business. Remember that customer service skills are so important, and y'all, each of you are going to have them. I know that for a fact. But you're going to need to show those skills to your customers on a very regular basis. Don't hide them. You got to promote them. Sometimes when we're in business, we'll have things that are maybe not just perfect with our product, or maybe we're not as good at something as we need to be, or maybe we're selling something to a customer and we know or we've learned that in this particular product there's a little problem there that may cause my customers some issues. So we need to cross the bridge right now. Are we going to ignore that issue and pretend it's not there and just wait and see if it gives this customer some problems? Or are we going to take the high road? And are we going to go ahead and tell that customer, this product is really good, but I have one or two customers that say that this and this and this could be improved a little bit. So let me just give you a heads up. If you see this developing into something that maybe we need to adjust, let me know. I'll be right on top of it. And so when you're proactive towards a possible problem down the road, you improve your position and certainly improve your relationship. Example, when I was talking to that customer in Connecticut about these products that I was recommending to them, remember what I said? Look here, my good customer, I know that there's going to be a learning curve here, and we may have to tweak these implements before they'll serve you best. That's all you needed to say. In other words, you're not pretending that everything's perfect and they're not going to have to do anything. Just say, look, there's going to be a learning curve here. We don't need to learn to adjust this and make it work just right for you. And we may have to tweak these implements, may have to make some adjustments to help them get through to you. Sometimes we get so busy talking, and here I am, a big talker of all these webinars, just talk. But I don't learn anything until I listen, until I shut up and actually listen to what y'all saying to me. Your emails and feedback that you send back is where I do my learning. Watching you work and sharing comments and watching you put your plans together, that's where I learn. And let me tell you, some people really are awful about just talking over someone. I mean, I'll start talking to sometimes to a person, and I'll get 2 sentences into what I'm trying to say, and they come back and just talk over what I'm saying and just take the conversation away. And that's disturbing. A lot of customers, a lot of people, tourism adults, are not going to put up with that very long. They're not going to argue with you. They're not going to fight back. But they're just not going to talk to you, and they're not going to come back. If you don't give a customer the chance to finish their thought before you start talking over them or acting like you know it all, then you got a problem. So I know that I probably in the past have done a lot of that, but I certainly have tried very hard not to do it now. So if you, and I bet you know someone that talks over you when you try to have a conversation with them, and how negative it makes you feel. It's the same way with your customer. Keep that in mind. We got to listen to them. Now, that magic marketing moment, remember when we're marketing, is all about the follow-up. See, all these things are in the circle. The customer service comes right back to our marketing plan, the Golden Goose marketing plan. The key ingredient there was following up so that you can let that customer know you were sincere about wanting them to be 100% satisfied, and you're ready and willing to resolve any issues that need to be resolved. If you can take a negative issue with your customer and turn it into a positive issue that's been resolved, that customer will stay with you forever. It's so important in the long term doing business with someone. If you can resolve negative issues, then you've got them in your Raving Fan Customer Club. This, for us right now, the folks that are with me tonight, is maybe not that big an issue. But stores that have telephone systems or services that have telephone systems that just make a customer mad when they call you need to do something about it. And there's so many of them out there that do that. Spectrum, some of the banks, some other large companies, these are menus that they have to listen to. The telephone system can really turn a customer off to say, I don't want to do business with these people anymore. Now, you and I have the kind of the thing that when someone calls us up on the phone and you've got an answering recording there that invites them to leave a message, that message can be so very important. And make sure that the message sounds like you care about the call and you do intend to call them right back. And then that's the promise. When you say, please leave me a message and I'll call you back as soon as possible, call them back as soon as possible. So many times, I do this all during the day. I get a lot of calls here, and therefore some of my calls go to voicemail. And when I call people back on voicemail, I think it's probably at least 50% of my customers will say, oh, Steve, thank you for taking my call and calling me back. People just don't do it anymore. I hear that every day. That folks leave messages all over the country trying to buy something, and the people don't ever call them back. Well, I hope they don't ever. I hope they don't change their ways, because it is money in my pocket. So be sincere about your answering your telephone calls and emails. Same thing. Just like that customer in Connecticut I've been talking about, he sent me a text message. That's how we started out our conversation. And as I've said before in our webinars, I'm not a fan of texting, but I certainly am a fan of doing business, so I'm liking it more and more. We as individual business people, creating customer service relationships with our customers, it gets down to the personal attention on simple details that make all the difference in the world. Remembering someone's name, remembering the town they're in, them telling you maybe their wife's name or their pet name or what their children are doing, what college they like, this and that. As you're making notes with your potential customers, whatever you can remember to help you jot down to be a better friend when they call back, someone that remembers them, is really important. Customers will call every day and say, I hadn't talked to you in about 5 years, but I remember how much you helped me with this issue and that issue. Can you take some time to help me now? That's the relationships. That's what you want to hear. And being nice to folks, letting them know you appreciate their call, letting them know that their phone call is not a distraction. And so this is an important place I need to say there's a two-edged sword. I tell you, you have to fight distractions to get your business done. But taking phone calls from customers is not a distraction. Taking phone calls from your friend down the street that just wants to talk about what are the ingredients in a pecan pie, that's a distraction. But taking time to hear what the customers have to say and welcome that information and make notes, that is not a distraction. That is what we're all about to create good customer service. So, a cold shoulder. You ever heard that story? What is the cold shoulder? A long time ago, folks that used to visit in wagons and horses before we had transportation with cars and trains and planes, they visited on their wagons and their horses to go visit folks. And when they went to visit, they usually stayed 3 or 4 days. Well, when the host of the house was ready for their guests to get on out of there, when they came down for breakfast in the morning, there'd be a cold shoulder of ham. They'd take a ham out of the smokehouse and put it out on the buffet and say, I got you a cold shoulder here for your way home. That was a nice way of saying, get on out of here and here's something to eat on the way home. That's the cold shoulder story. We don't want to give our customers cold shoulders when they walk in the door. And you and I have both had folks that gave us that cold shoulder, haven't we? That didn't act like they appreciated us being there, that didn't make that eye contact, that didn't smile, that didn't give us that good greeting. That turns off people so bad. And you can give cold shoulders with the way you talk on the telephone and the way you answer your emails. That's why these sample emails I'm going to send to you are very, very important. Don't give the cold shoulder, okay? Sends people away. The number one mistake that we make in customer service is we don't laugh and smile and just glow with a positive attitude enough. Sometimes you have to work at it. When you got a cold or a sinus problem or you're not feeling bad, but you're still at work and still greeting that customer, we can still eke out a smile. We can still find a way to make them feel good about being there. And that's what we have to do. It's just part of it. And we have to encourage other people on our team to do the same thing. And there's some other mistakes we have to do. Well, first of all, we have to be accessible. We have to be easy to reach. Every time we have an opportunity to improve service, we should do it. Man, let's try not to keep customers waiting. Their time is important, and we really need to respect that. Don't keep your customer waiting 1 minute longer than you have to. Make the customer feel like that they have been sold instead of served. If we make our customers feel like they have been served, that's a good thing. But if they're walking away after buying something and they feel like something's been pushed on them and they've been sold, that's not a good thing. That's the other side of customer service. And we don't need to assume that every customer is going to pay like they're supposed to. So this is kind of a two-edged sword too. We got to know, to have a good relationship, that we're going to get paid. So we need to sit and plan our presentations and our quotations in such a way that it sets up for payment to be made the way it's supposed to be done and at the timeline that you expect it. And if we haven't done our homework there, then we don't maybe have an embarrassing situation. So this is all about pricing, making sure the customer knows what's expected of them money-wise and when do you expect it. And that way you don't end up having a negative conversation with them about that. So we'll talk about that in that pricing webinar we're going to have in a day or two. So are we just waiting for the customer to walk up and say, okay, I want it, here's my money? No. Customer walking around out in your store or walking through your website may have already decided they want to buy this, but they want you to show them some interest that you have an interest in them. So that gets back to take it or leave it. That's what this is all about. If you're just saying take it or leave it, you're basically saying to the customer, come up here and give me your money if you want it, and I'll take your money. But the other side of that, the right way to do this is, I want to talk to you. I want this to be a good fit for you. Let's see how we can make it work. We don't want to be pushy and we don't want to rush them, but we do want to motivate them. That's a fine line that we have to work through. And in time, you'll learn exactly how to do it. Sometimes the customers are right, and lots of times the people you're talking to don't know how to admit maybe they're wrong or they don't know it all. Arguing with the customer, to argue with the customer to end up winning an argument but losing a sale, does that make a lot of sense? No. We figure out how to negotiate through that, and I know that each one of y'all are probably not going to make that mistake. But if a customer becomes argumentative, that means we are heading in the wrong direction, and even maybe you're right about the point you're making, you're not right about arguing. That's just not going to end up helping you get a good deal and a relationship that lasts with the customer. A mistake that we make customer service-wise is not being personal at our websites or the way that we're doing our internet marketing. Latoya, you're doing a wonderful job creating a personal presence, and I really like the way you're approaching that. So others that might want to plug into Latoya's Facebook pages, she's creating a platform. She's creating a base, a personality there. So think about that, because people are going to do business with you. They're going to do business with you a long time if they feel like that you're willing to have a personal business relationship with them. Don't tell people what they want to hear instead of telling them the truth. The world is so tired of fake information and people lying, politicians and other folks lying, as if it don't count anymore. Somewhere in the Ten Commandments, it says you shouldn't lie, you should tell the truth. And certainly in the Ten Commandments of doing business, making false statements or leading the customer in the wrong way about delivery, what time something's going to be delivered, arrival time. In today's world, just be truthful. Say the ETA, the estimated time of arrival, is so-and-so. And go ahead and follow it up and say, these are strange times with people shipping goods, so we'll do the best we can to get it to you at a certain date, a certain way, but know that I can't control the trucking companies. I can't control the ships on the ocean or UPS, but we'll do our part about getting it out to you, and that you can tell the truth on. You can tell them when you're going to ship it and what the normal shipping time is, and people will give you some leeway. But if you are guaranteeing a delivery date, then I'm suggesting that you're going to get in the car, go get that product and carry it to your customer. So if you don't have control of delivery, then don't make promises that you can't keep yourself. It's a big, big deal. So I like to put up and have before a little poster that says customer service, G-U-E-S-T. Spell it right out. It helps you remember. It's a good reminder. Greet the customer. That's the G. Understand the customer needs. That's the U. Explain the features and benefits. Suggest additional items. Do the upselling. And don't forget to be thankful. In this season of Thanksgiving, don't forget to be thankful. So our customers, we treat them like a guest, and remember how we spell it. Customers will tell you about their problems. 8 to 10 customers are dissatisfied, and they will tell you about their problems, and it's important that we learn how to listen. What is the typical dissatisfied customer? 7 out of 10 complaining customers will do business with you again if you resolve the complaint. If you resolve the complaint, they'll probably be with you forever. And 7 out of 10 customers will do it. So be willing, be ready to give and take enough to resolve the complaint so the customer feels like they're getting a decent deal. And if you resolve the complaint on the spot, that is right away, you recognize the problem, you take care of it, let's take care of that right now, you take the time to do the action, 95% of those customers, not 75%, but 95% of those customers will stay with you for a long, long time. And that is so very important that they do that. How about this little lady? Customer service with a capital S starts the very minute that you lay eyes on that customer as they're coming in and approaching you, or in the first few words in their email that they sent to you. We need to learn to spot that they're disappointed up front. Don't make them tell us, because we can see it. That nonverbal communications we talked about a few weeks ago, a lot of it is spotting disappointment will help you improve customer service, because you can say to them, hey, are you having a good day? I mean, you look at their face and they're not having a good day. So be wise, show some wisdom about that. Be ready to solve the problem the very minute you see they're not satisfied. Now, a lot of folks say, I just can't figure out why that customer left me. Well, I can tell you why. 1% of your customers will leave you because they die. 3% will move away. 5% will develop other relationships. 9% of them just found a competitor that gave them a better deal. 14% were dissatisfied with your products or services. 14%. But a whopping 68% customers leave us because they felt like they were treated rude or discourteous. Rude or discourteous. Now, I got a feeling that you're not going to make that mistake, but indeed, you see it happening out there in the world, and we know that if you have employees that have attitudes that are not right, they will be rude or discourteous, and when that happens, that customer's going to leave you. Now, since we don't have employees, and if one of our customers becomes dissatisfied, guess who's got to straighten it out? You and I. So we got to keep this in mind, that as tough as it may seem to be sometimes, we have got to put a smile on our face when maybe we're mad, excuse me, or disappointed, and it might be considered rude. We don't have that freedom to do it. We just have to belly up, put on our happy face, and take care of the problem. So the tips from the masters are keep smiling, be friendly, and that's what creates the wows. Wow, that was a great situation. Wow, you took care of that just right. Wow, I'm proud of you. Wow, I'm going to keep that customer. That's what you have to do with the unhappy customers. When you see them coming in with an unhappy face, don't say, how are you? You already know how they are. Instead say, hey, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. Let's see if we can help you have a better day. When they realize that you have the courage to say something like that and help them try to change their attitude, they may not change, but there's a good chance they will. They'll at least give you a little bit of a smile and start turning the curve towards customer satisfaction. Care about what is happening with them in their lives. Imagine yourself in their shoes. People walk different paths to come to see us, and they're coming in for different reasons. It may not be some of them good, but we want to be able to grasp their point of view. We want to be able to see the problem through their eyes and understand their point of view. And when we do that, you'll have a really good chance of how to change an unhappy customer into a happy customer. A moment of truth comes in several different situations. If a customer is having a negative experience, or they've had a negative experience, that becomes a moment of misery. Yeah. In the business world, in customer service, things going bad with a customer, that's a moment of misery. That'll be one of your quiz questions, okay? When a customer is having a negative experience, it becomes a moment of misery. Not a good thing. A moment of truth, on the other hand, is when you have an extremely positive situation. And that is a moment of magic. Moment of magic. Now, in our businesses, do we want a lot of moments of misery or a lot of moments of magic? Pretty easy to answer that question, isn't it? We want positive experiences and more moments of magic. That moment of magic is that magic marketing moment. Turn those words around when the customer tells you what they're going to buy next month or next year and gives you the invitation to buy it from you if you have it ready for them. That's a moment of magic. That's when you've done the truth and you've done it outright. That's a happy day when we can do that. Good customer service is when someone is going into a place of business and they're expecting to maybe order, get just a pizza, just a regular pizza like we all get, maybe at the grocery store, heated up in the oven. And we can eat it, and maybe it tastes decent, and we can fill up on it, but it's just a pizza, right? But indeed, that's what the customer expected, and that's what they received. However, what happens if they get something that is really less than that? That's a bad customer experience. And as we're serving our customers the pizzas of our life, the products of our life, the services of our life, we have to remember, what does it look like in the customer's point of view? What is their expectation? What do they receive? But maybe we can do better. Maybe we can give them, instead of just a pizza, to go ahead and bring a soft drink to them. Let's amp it up a little bit. Let's make our deal a little bit better, a little bit more pleasant. Bring something with it. They expected just a regular piece of pizza, but they got some pizza with a soft drink. That's all right. That's better. That's what they did. So expectations determine the customer service's point of view, the customer's point of view about your customer service. Then you can graft it out with each customer. And I'll tell you that whether it's your customer or you, we all go through this. When we go into a store, like Norman and I went to that urgent care yesterday, or to the restroom, to the grocery store, we have expectations. And if those expectations are met, that's a good day. If they're not, it's a bad day. And that's a good customer service experience, or it's not. Are we going to be disappointed with a poor experience? That is, we had high expectations, but we had a poor experience. Are we going to be delighted because we had a low expectations and had a great experience? We're going to be delighted. So delivering the customer service is up to you and I as to how it comes across. Having a delighted customer is a good start. I want to recommend it to all of us. Let's try to have delighted customers. But more than that, I have to, as your business coach, say we need to raise the bar, though. We want more than just delighted. We want to consistently deliver great customer service experiences. We want to be better than the competition. We want to be better than we were the last time the customer came. And thinking that way will help us get there. So if I had high expectations and I had a great customer experience, then all right, I am on target. I'm doing right. So how about this? Instead of just a piece of pizza, let's have a wow. Let's take it to the very best level. And you know what? When you're figuring out how to bring all the ingredients together, and each one of these might recommend an upsell in your business. When you put the whole package together, you're going to be in a position to make more money, to have that customer be more happy, to have them become a raving fan customer, and for you to experience business year after year after year. Don't be afraid to go to the extra mile and offer the very best that you can, and then you'll get devoted customers, raving fan customers, and that is indeed what we're after. Take time to talk to your customers. That's one way that you achieve that. Talk to them about the upsells, the by the way this and by the way that. It makes such a world of difference. So, how did you get there? How do you get there? Customers that come to you time after time with different products, but they're always going to come to you with basically the same questions on their mind. And you want to have in your mind a planned path to get to that successful closing. Forecast the way you're going to handle the customer as they come to you. Forecast the way that you're going to speak, the things that you're going to mention, the things you're going to recommend, how you're going to close your sale, probably what are your upsells opportunities. If you have in your mind a plan, then you'll be able to execute that plan in such a way to help you end up with a deal and the customer feel like they won. It was a win-win situation. Having that plan path is so very important. Number one thing to do. Number two is just don't say hello. Say, hello there, I'm so glad to see you. Put some gusto in your greetings. Put some smiles, no cost, put some smiles with some eye contact when you're talking to your customer. Be engaging is the key word there. That is going to be so important to help you move forward. And if you're in an open setting where other people are listening to you talk to your customers, you have a disadvantage. When it's time to close a deal, to get down to work through the details or the nitty-gritty of things, you want to make sure you have the ability to find a private setting to discuss the issues of hand with the customer. If people are listening to a customer as they're talking to you, then they're going to play the role of an actor. They'll feel like they're on stage and they're not going to say things the same way, with the same words, with the same honesty that they would if they just have your ear. So do yourself and your customer a favor. When it's time to negotiate, to close the deal, find a private way of doing it. Okay? Don't try to close private deals in public. It's just not a good thing and is bad customer service. That need for privacy is also true for any staff members that you have, any employees that you have trying to work through negotiations. Remember that just because you're the boss or you're the manager, that you don't stand there and put your ear and hear every word that's said back and forth. If you've trained your staff properly, that's not necessary and a real negative. So just as important as it is for you to be able to talk privately with your customer, it's important for your sales team or staff members to be able to do the same thing. When you're negotiating and using those closing tactics that we talked about last week, you pay attention to that now. It's very important. And we're going to be doing some more of that next week in a couple of our classes. So you might want to plug back in and listen to those negotiating and closing tactics, because that private setting is really, really important when you're there. Be prepared to support whatever it takes to move that potential buyer into a customer deal or a closed deal. After you have a relationship or an experience with a customer, know that it's important that they feel like that you're saying thank you. They need to hear a thank you, like with a thank you card or an email or a phone call, maybe within a week, and then even follow up with to see how satisfied they are that you are trying to do that magic marketing moment within 30 to 45 days with that customer. Customer service lives on when you remind them that you're still here and still need your business and still want to help them. It's up to you to let the customer know that you want it to stay alive and to keep working. This isn't just a one-time deal. Let's make it last. Let's see how we can help each other down the road. It's up to you and I to do that, not the customer. Have you added your potential customer names into a database so you can stay in touch with them at least 4 times a year? That is the foundation of continuing customer service. Staying in contact with them, letting them know you care. Hospitality factors into the success of every type of business. Whether you're in the equipment business like I am, or the accounting business, bookkeeping business like Annette, in the customer personal services like LaToya, selling products like Shirwanki. Hospitality lives. It's a breathing thing. It's just not a word on the screen or in a book. Hospitality lives. And what it's about is dazzling hospitality is so big and so warm you have to know it's there. It is absolutely dramatic. I know that I'm happy about being here, and it is powerful. Incredibly powerful is hospitality. Matter of fact, more so than customer service. There's no doubt about it. So when we are thinking now, we're going to shift this looking towards hospitality by knowing that you target, you figure out what you do. Now let me share with you a place here in Dunn, North Carolina called the Broad Street Deli. If you ever have a chance, it's right down on Main Street, right in the middle of town. A little deli operation there, opened up in 2005. And Jamie is the owner of the business. And she works really hard to have a great business, and everyone that walks in that door that she makes that contact with, and she gives you that smile, now she knows the Disney rule by heart. And when you walk in this store, you're going to get the very best hospitality of anywhere that I know of in a small store. So let me just share with you. Look at the background there. You can just see she's got her store decorated up. Hospitality marketing is what she does. They got a welcoming feel when you just walk by the place. You feel like I'll be comfortable if I come in here. Lets people know what she's got. The sandwiches, soups, salads, desserts, deli, and a market there. She has a well-trained team, and everyone that works with Jamie knows that rule number one is to make that customer want to come back. Rule number one is to make sure that customers want to come back. That needs to be rule number one with all of us. We want our customers to feel like they felt good, I want to come back to this place. Another place over in Warsaw, close by some of you right now, the Peace Weekend Retreat was opened up a couple of years ago. We had the pleasure of working with the owner of the facility, fixing it up so pretty. Terry is over there, and she'd love to show you her store and her quilting and other things that she's doing in there, and she hosts special events for folks. It's a beautiful old home right in the center of town. When you go by there, say hello to Terry. Let her know we've been talking about her. I had occasion to go over Christmas before last to see her decorations. She invited over for a party and just had a nice housewarming event there. It's a lovely place. I'm sure she's got it all decorated up now as well. We want to be prepared to know that there's different strokes for different folks. There's different kinds of targeting hospitality skills that we can apply to help us with our different type of customers. So let's kind of talk about what are the different types of customers that we might be concerned about and aim at. LaToya, this is really important for the type of work that you're doing. Absolutely, very, very important. You're going to be wanting to set up the plan for your first-time customers. You'll want to have some hospitality moves for your first-time customers. You'll want to think about customers that are by themselves, solo shoppers. What might you say to them, solo shoppers? And then there's people that are relocating to the community, and they've come to you for this need or that need. How would you have special sayings or tactics or strategies that you might apply for folks that are relocating to the community? And then there are individuals that have magnetic power. You just, at the very minute you meet them, you can see that they've got something special going on. And are you going to have a radar on that you can turn on or maybe go to a different channel to send that hospitality message to them that will be most important? Now, I know I'm getting out there in the clouds with this, but I also know this. There are different types of customers that when they come to you, they're looking for a different frequency on the radio. They like different ways of doing things. And if we are so rigid with our presentations and the way we do business, we can't adjust for different people, then we got a little problem. So this slide is all about encouraging you to be flexible and to say that I just can't say the same thing to everybody that comes in because people have different needs and they're looking for different things. So one person may come into your store and that chocolate chip cookie and a cup of coffee was exactly what they wanted. The next person may come in there and what they want is a friendly smile and a detailed answer to a question. Other folks want to come in and they're solo shoppers. You can tell that they're used to being kind of by themselves and shopping by themselves. And what they're looking for maybe is a friend. Maybe they are going to require more conversation time. Keep that in mind. This is a very mature way of trying to do business the best way. Remember, customers come back to see you time after time for specific reasons. And customer service represents 40% of that. The quality of your products and the price values, 40%. That's a big factor, a 40% factor. But they're so very noticeable. Service, consistency, quality, price value, 40%. But 60% of the reason people will come back and do business with you is hospitality. And that encompasses your charm, your professionalism, the way they feel about doing business with you. Are they at peace with you? Do they feel like they're at home here? Are you charming them? That is, having a welcoming, calming atmosphere. Are your presentations and transactions professional but comfortable? Are you able to move the ball, but you're not pressuring them? That's the hospitality features, and it's just not on a cruise ship or a restaurant or an airplane or a hotel where hospitality plays in. It's in every business. Every business relationship is important. Now, there's a fellow named John Maxwell. He was a leadership coach from a lot of years back, worldwide, well-read. And he's the fellow who actually gets credit for saying people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that encompasses the whole world of hospitality. Because what this is saying is you can make your point with charm and grace and feeling good and soul and warmth, you got hospitality. And people will know that you care without ever nailing down the fact that maybe they don't care how much you know. It's important. That's that customer service stuff. That's really important, how much you know. But how much you care is how you present it in such a way that makes them feel good about doing business with you. Back in the summertime, you go outside light bulb, you see that light bulb and the bugs come and fly around it, don't they? They do. Why do they do that? Why do the bugs come to the light? Well, there's two reasons that they come to the light. One is they just like the light. And I'll say that light is the customer service. But scientists, a lot of them will say that the main reason that the bugs come back is for the warmth. The warmth around that light bulb makes them feel good. I think that's the hospitality. I think customers will come back to you for the light that you give them, for the knowledge and the products and the service, 40%. But 60%, they're going to come back to you because they enjoy doing business with you. You treated them right. You listen to them. You offer them upsells, complete sales. And by golly, they just felt good about being in your presence. And you can have this relationship one-on-one, face-to-face, or you can have it through internet marketing. And if there's anything that's important about y'all staying with these classes and these webinars that I'm trying to come across is, everybody's on the internet. But just a few of us are on the internet doing what we're talking about right here, serving our customers with the extra warmth to let them know we're listening to them and trying to help them and want them to come back to us. People, of course, are interested in price values. You're not going to keep your customers if you're overcharging them, but overcharging doesn't mean being cheap. The overcharging means that you don't have to be cheap. You give them the right prices with the right values, they'll pay you a little more and come back to see you very often. Excuse me. We're always weighing the difference in quality and cheapness. Quality I'm in favor of. Cheapness, I don't ever want to mention it. The sensory appeal. Can I hear it? Can I taste it? Can I smell it? Can I see it? Can I touch it? Those are important. And how do you do that on the internet? You do that with the words, with your videos, with talking about it. Because in a video, you can give them the sound and the sight and the touch. They can't smell it, but you can tell them how good it smells. So just remember that's important, and we need to try to give that to our customer. Is doing business with you a positive, fun, peaceful thing? Are you setting up the environment that people really like? The mood? Yeah. Do they like the atmosphere? That's an important thing to do. To make them feel really, really good about being in the same environment as you. I want to talk about a family, Tammy and Tracy, over in Sanford. They set up a brand new auto repair business. And they're all about, they bought a business that had been there, I think, for 40 or 50 years and turning it into their business. And what we wanted to help them do was exceed expectations. Customers have been coming to that store for a long time, but we wanted the customers that came to feel better about the experience with them compared to the old business that was there. So it all starts out now. Let me tell you, a lot of businesses are open, but you can't tell it because they simply don't have an open sign or a welcome sign. Come on in, we're open. That was an important thing that they worked out in that business over there. And when people do come in, you want to make sure that whoever is greeting them gives them a really warm welcome, a big time welcome. And when you get an email, you need to respond in such a way that the folks know that you're excited about the opportunity to serve them. It's like I mentioned earlier, when I ask for an email, and the ones I sampled to you, happy Tuesday, Sally. Thank you so much for your note. It's a pleasure to work for you. Look forward to serving you. How can we help you? I read your note, and let me respond by saying this. And always put yourself into it instead of just starting out with the basic text answering the question that they ask. And so many people, that's all they're going to do, as little as they possibly can. They think that people don't want to read a lot of email. They just want one sentence that answers their question. That may be true. But old Steve over here don't think that builds relationships. And I've had pretty good results for the last 64 years by going the extra mile to let the customer know I will take the time to talk to you, to give you a good greeting, and let you know how appreciative I am that you have sent to us. So let folks know that you're going to make it easy to do business with them. Let them know you can accept credit cards. Let them know what your common denominators are, different clubs that you may join, or things that they will have in common with you to help them want to do business. Give them lots of things to look at, lots of things to talk about. Put those pictures up there. Make them feel welcome when they walk in. Let them know you got a lot to offer. Give them lots of colors that will hold their attention. Get a message here. That will hold their attention. Lots and lots of nice places I've had a chance to join that are all about hospitality. One of the best is the bed and breakfast up in Murfreesboro, North Carolina, the Flanagan House. They opened up their business, came to our seminars, really, really nice folks. Miss Clara down in Elizabethtown, got a great attitude. She's got a little business there where she does alterations and sewing. Just a really nice lady, very great hospitality, so gracious. A few tips. You got a business, put a bell on the door. When someone comes through the door and it rings a bell, it's just kind of like you're coming into an old-timey home. It's a good thing to do. Plus, it lets you know if you're behind the counter, it lets you know that someone's in there. But that signal that I have entered, it sends two messages. Number one, to the customer that just walked in, it sounds good. Have a good sounding bell, a warming bell, a welcoming bell. And then the next thing they want to hear is your voice from across the back of the room. Welcome, I'll be with you right there in just a second. So that's what you're after there. That bell is really nice. When the customer walks in, don't pounce on them. Give them a chance to get in the door. Approach them with a smile and a good greeting. Let your customer know that you're happy and you're happy to do business with them. Avoid doing whatever it takes to give them a bad impression about you, telling them what a bad day you're having or this or that. Leave the bad stuff out of it. Always remember, you're trying to create a very positive attitude. Help them with their needs. Understand and listen to them. Don't try to talk over anyone. Show them whatever they need to see. Learn names. Do what you need to do to save a record of the customer so you can get them into your database. Take time to chat to them if you're serving them. Excuse me. Folks don't want to be abused and use up their private time, but if someone is serving you, take the time to chat to them. If they want to talk. Give them what they want. Repeat customers, remember what their favorites are so that you can say you want the same thing you got last time, or I remember you like this or that. Lots and lots of folks really are turned on to that. Be appreciative for that business, and they will indeed start coming back to see you. If you have staff, train them. You can't expect people to understand all these things we've been talking about. And if you have staff and want them to come to more sessions, or for me to share our talking points here, I'll be glad to do it. Continuing and gentle pressure. Stay on top of it. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Stay on top of it. Don't push your staff, don't push your customers, but always be there maintaining the standards. Stay within the riverbanks. Let your employees and your customers know we're going to maintain these standards every time you come. You can expect it from me, and you can expect it from my employees, and we're going to give you very good professional service without surprises. That's what folks want. Remember the 10-5 rule about hospitality. If someone comes within 10 feet of you, what do? We make eye contact, and we give them a warm smile. If they're within 5 feet of us, we're going to say something to them. We're going to give them a sincere greeting and see how we can help them. We are not going to ignore them. We are not going to ignore that customer. Set the stage. Set the stage at your website, at your home page, at your landing pages, at your storefront, at your pop-up booth. Set the stage so that people will know that you're here to do business in a friendly way as soon as they come in. Those first impressions are so important. Why is it when you walk into a first-class hotel lobby in a big city, they've got this beautiful, beautiful floral arrangement they're costing several hundreds of dollars probably, because they are all about making that first impression. You don't need to, for what we're doing usually, we're not going to need to set up a live floral arrangement, but we do need to have a very attractive home page on our website. We need to have a super attractive and powerful mobile page. Those first impressions make all the difference in the world with customer service. Remember the hospitality factors. Remember what we have to do to keep them coming back. You can buy a bottle of wine most anywhere, but indeed you want to buy it. If you're in a first-class restaurant, you want to serve just right, and you don't want to be confused with just anywhere. You want it done just right. When a server brings you a bottle of wine and you're there with friends at a special event and they don't do it right, then your experience is greatly diminished. But on special occasions, that the people that are serving you go the extra mile to give you the very best service with soul and warmth, greetings, understanding that this is a special event, and reminding the people that it is, then it is just so important that your guests will remember it. And that's what we're after here. Customer service and hospitality is what's happening in the moment. But the important part of how it affects small business folks like you and I is, have we created a memory that the customer carries away with us? Hospitality is service with soul. Service with soul. Are we thoughtful? Are we gracious? Do people realize that? Is it first class? Is it small town first class like Alfredo's in Clinton, where they give excellent service? I can use them as an example. Do they give the flavor? Is there any doubt about when you walk in this restaurant that they appreciate you being there? I've been there 5 or 6 times, and it's always the same thing right here near Clinton. Let me tell you that when you're serving a customer and they say thank you, if your response is no problem, it was easy to say, and you thought maybe it's cool, just say, oh, no problem. But it is a problem. It is a problem. If someone says thank you, then I want you to say, you're welcome. I'm glad to serve. You're making my day. When someone says thank you to you, that is the opening bell for a long-term relationship, for a business relationship. And a quick answer, no problem, don't let it go forward. But if someone says thank you or gives you that message, and you respond back as if you're taking it serious and it is important, then you say, you're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity to serve you, and I hope you'll come back to see us. That's the difference in doing as little as you can and taking hospitality full measure. So I don't know, maybe you haven't heard this before, but in my opinion, saying no problem, for me, that is a problem. Take it to the next step. Let them know you appreciate the fact that they're working with you. That serving that glass of wine is so important. In that if they did it just right, if the server did it just right, and you were in an atmosphere that was important to you, let's say it's an engagement dinner or something like that, I want my customer to say, that was a lot more than just having a glass of wine. It was the very best glass of wine I've ever had. It was the very best tractor buying experience I ever had. It was the very best service experience that I've ever had at Latoya. I've never had a bookkeeper treat me any better than Annette has, and I'm so happy with her service. That's what you're after now with hospitality and customer service, is taking it the extra mile so that the customer is saying, this is the very best that I've ever experienced. And when we do that, you're going to come out on top. Remember that become unplugged for celebrities. Take it to the next level. Be the place that people want to come to. Be the place that folks want to come to because they know that other great people are coming there too. Never settle for the status quo. The places I mentioned tonight that are the best folks I know of in this area, and the one I left out was the Sunnyside Oyster Bar at Williamston, North Carolina, but I'll insert them in there. Folks that know what hospitality is all about do it well, but you know what they have in common? None of them are ever going to settle for the status quo. They'll always be looking for ways to raise the level of hospitality and customer service. And that's what members of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates want to do, is always be looking for that opportunity to raise the level of service, to become the big kahuna in hospitality. Become the big kahuna like the Broad Street Deli in Dunn. Become a legend of hospitality. So let's wind this on down now. Are you going to settle for just as little as you can get by with service and hospitality? Probably not. Because when your customers and your employees can say this, when they feel like they can say, when I'm doing business here, this place makes me feel like I'm at home. I feel at home here doing business. And I'll come back because I have that feeling. Then you are achieving customer service with a capital S with enhanced hospitality. So thank you for staying with me tonight. It's been a pleasure to serve you and to work for you. And I would certainly appreciate any comments that you have. Turn your mics on and tell me what you think.
Hey, Steve, this is Tim.
Yes, sir. What do you think, Tim?
Great presentation tonight. And I actually have the book from the Disney guy, Making the Customer Experience Magical Now. And it is a good book. It's from John Formica, an ex-Disney guy, and that's his main points, talking about customer service, making customers feel like, you know, they're wanted. They're not an interruption of your day.
It's so important, isn't it? How about sending me an email with that name of that title in it? I might want to follow up on that.
Okay, will do.
I appreciate it. Yes, go ahead, LaToya.
Oh, I was going to say, me too. I would like to know about that book as well.
Will do.
No, thank you.
Do you have there, Tim? Can you do chat?
Yes, let me do that right now.
Yeah, do chat. Everybody can pick it up.
Let's see.
We appreciate your mutual help in this thing.
Making.
So, you know, my dad was a great teacher, and he believed in customer service, and he kind of hammered it into me. And through the years, it's just been so cool to watch that through the years, how some businesses have it and some people just don't have a clue. Anyone else have any conversations you'd like to share? Hey, Tim, are you getting that? Got it plugged in?
I believe it is in there. Should be out to everybody. Yes, it is there.
Good, thank you. I'll share it in an email tomorrow with the video presentation. Thank you all. I'm sorry for all my coughing tonight. I'll try to get past that in a day or two, and we'll be up and running. Tomorrow night we'll be back on board, and then 4 nights next week. I hope you can find time to join us. God bless you and good luck. Go ahead, LaToya.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I hope you feel better.
Definitely.
All right. Y'all take care. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.